Hello, hyperspace. My name is Davontos, and it's time to get hyped because this is some Division multiplayer gameplay. I don't want to say multiplayer, but I'm with Power of Aura. He has appeared in some of my other videos, but let's get right on to this. This is something different I'm trying. I'm not uploading any Call of Duty videos today, and it has been a while since I uploaded a video anyway, so I thought I'd try something different, and I said I was going to upload some Division gameplay. This is one of the missions, Subway Morgue. Now, basically what we had to do is we had to go into the subway, eliminate enemies, and at the same time, we're actually refilling our ammo here, but we had to eliminate enemies and find these batteries for generators and put them in generators, and that's basically about it, and leave the subway. We're trying to reclaim New York, take it back for ourselves, and do it just like superheroes! I'm playing as a sexy lady. I tried my best to make it look like, Battery. Oh, Ellen Page. And this game is actually pretty fun. I'm liking it. If you haven't played The Division, it's kind of like a mixture of Call of Duty, Grand Theft Auto without the cars, and I would say maybe Destiny. Now, if you guys are actually looking for something different to play, and you guys don't want to play any more COD or GTA, I would highly suggest to hop on The Division and give it a shot, because this game is really fun. There's a lot of weapon customization, there's character customization. Unfortunately, once you make your character, you can't go back and edit him or her. At least I don't think you can do that yet. I don't know if there's going to be an update in the future where they add that and you can change it, but as of yet, once you make your character, you're stuck with that character. So, you know, make your guy look as best as you can, or your girl as best as they can, and because that's what you're going to be stuck with. You can make I think it's 4 other agents, but I believe once you make a new agent, you're gonna have to start from the very beginning. So, you know, make your first agent look the best. I actually made a girl because in the beta, I was playing as a guy and I wanted to try out a girl, and almost every kind of RPG I play, I always play as a dude, so why not play as a girl? And she's sexy! So, there are a whole bunch of things to take into mind when you're playing this game. This game is a cover-to-cover shooter. You can't go out there guns blazing hoping to get a kill because you're going to get slaughtered. The enemies and the AIs, at least, they're smart. They will take cover, they will actually try to flank, and if they have the opportunity, they will ambush you. So it's a very strategical cover-to-cover game, and you're going to be much better off playing either with a group of 4 players or even 2, like me and Aura. It's really technical, and it's not technical to a point where it's difficult, but it's very technical to a point where you're going to have to use some bits of teamwork to get the job done. You can do some missions solo all by yourself. I've done that a couple of times, but it's going to be difficult because you're going to run into groups of enemies. And, you know, when you're by yourself, it's easy to just basically jump you. So, you can actually take cover, as I am here. You can switch from cover to cover. You can just actually look around, and there's like a cursor. You could just point your cursor at the closest line of cover and just hold down the X button, and your character actually runs straight over there, staying as low as possible, and run straight to the cover. For the weapons, I'm not too sure how many weapons are in this game, but I do see there is a lot of weapons. Just like Destiny, there are different kinds of weapons. So let's say, for example, let's use the famous AK-47. You can have a trashy, garbage-like AK-47, and you can wind up, you know, running around New York City and find one that's still the AK-47, but it's like a legendary version. And obviously, the legendary AK is much better than the common AK, and so on. There are merchants. The merchants is at your headquarters. And I've noticed the merchants change their shipments, not shipments, whatever they're selling. They change it, it looks like they change it once per mission. And usually they sell common equipment, so, you know, not the best, not the worst, but it's usable. But I have seen a couple times that the merchants are selling some really good, maybe legendary you can call it, epic, I'm not too sure what's best and what's worst in this game. I do know that I think it's purple that's the best you can get, and then blue's second best. I have seen some merchants selling some blue weapons, and it was like an MP5 or something like that. In this game you can also carry 3 weapons. You can carry a primary, a second primary, basically you're using like overkill perk in Call of Duty where you have 2 primary weapons, and on top of that you can hold a pistol, as I'm holding right here. Your pistol has unlimited ammo, and you can select from a varied amounts of pistols. You can select the average 44 Magnum to something like the M9, or my favorite, as I'm using now, the M1911. famous World War II pistol. Other than the Desert Eagle, the M911 is one of my favorite pistols, and I don't think the Desert Eagle's in here, so why not use the M911? Those are actually cleaners. Those guys are tough. They run around with flamethrowers. They're basically like fire breaks. They're crazy. They make weird, crazy noises when they come running at you, and they just torch everything on their path. Those guys you want to be careful with. The environment is somewhat destructible. There are some barrels lying around here and there. And this guy's trying to flank me from the back. I'm trying to push him back because I'm actually carrying a battery that I have to input in a generator to turn on the power. So Aura comes along, he tries to save me. So there are different kinds of enemies. Obviously enemies come in different ranks, as they do in Destiny. And, you know, level 3 enemies are obviously weaker than level 10 enemies and so on. It's basically common sense, but you are able to, let's say if you're a level 7, you are able to go to areas in the city that have like level 15 enemies, and you are going to get slaughtered, which is why it's best to at least travel in groups of 2, because if you ever run into enemies who's much higher than you are, you guys can easily just work together and trick them, or flank them, or do something to overpower, because if you're by yourself, as I said before, you're going to get slaughtered. So, about changing your clothes and stuff like that, you can change your clothes, you can find different gears. Now, some of the uniforms and stuff you wear do affect your stats, but it's nothing major. Now, let's say, for example, the gloves. Nobody really cares if you're wearing brown gloves or black gloves, because nobody pays attention to that. So, some of the gloves you find will give you more health, or some of them will give you, let's say, like more firepower in your machine guns. But the things that's actually very visible, like your hats and your jackets and your pants, that won't affect the way you play at all. Obviously it'll make you look fatter or whatever, but it won't affect your stats in any way. It's just the minor things, like your backpack. You know, the backpacks can hold, let's say, 30 items, and you find a bigger backpack that holds like 35. But it's not really something that actually changes the way your character looks, because the backpack has so much stuff on it. It kind of just looks like a big heap of junk on your back, so it wouldn't really matter. And same thing for the gloves. You can change your hat, you can change your shirt, you can give your person a jacket, remove the jacket if you want, and just stay with a shirt. So you got hats, jackets, shirts, pants, gloves, and shoes. The only thing that's visible that changes your stats are the backpack, the gloves, and the little hustlers where you keep your little pistol on the side of your pocket, but that stuff's like barely noticeable. I have one that's black, and Aura has one that's brown, but it's so unnoticeable it wouldn't even matter. I don't even know which one is better, and the stat changes are so minor, it doesn't really matter what you put on it. There are boss battles. We just entered a boss battle right here, and this guy's going to try to turn on the power. Once the power is on, we got to try to hold down the fort for as long as possible, and you're going to see this big fat fire guy just come in with this huge flamethrower, and Aura and I are going to just try to jump him as much as possible while we're fending off like smaller flamethrower guys. It's like a battle of fire! So, it can get really intense, and it has its slow moments, like when you're walking around the city scavenging for new gear or new weapons, but it also has its intense moments, as we're about to endure one now. There are, as I said with the different weapons, like cheap weapons and good weapons and legendary, there are different ways to get them. Now, you can scavenge through the city, and you will most likely find cheap weapons if you, like, you know, dig through garbage piles or help out some civilians. They'll probably give you, like, a little cheap pistol here and there. If you want, like, medium-tier weapons, I would say, that comes when you wind up eliminating enemies in missions. So, like, your average soldier that you get in a mission, take them out and you get a average AK-47. Now, if you want this legendary gear, that comes when you defeat a boss in a multiplayer mission or a single-player mission. Defeating bosses, they drop, like, better gear. Much better than you can probably buy at the shops, and much better gear than you'll get from eliminating a regular soldier. But if you guys want the best gear in the entire game, from what I'm hearing, you have to go into the Dark Zone. And the Dark Zone is basically player against AI. And this is where it gets really interesting. So, in the Dark Zone, you're going to go in the Dark Zone with your squad. The Dark Zone is a specific part located somewhere in New York City. In the Dark Zone, it's going to be you and your squad. Maybe let's say you and your friend, for example, like me and Aura. It's going to be me and Aura, and we're going to be against anybody else. Now you can signal them, you can put your hands up and say I'm innocent, I don't want to hurt you if you ever run into other players, which is useful. Now what you guys want to do in the dark zone is basically try to find very, very rare loot. Once you find this very rare loot, you have to go to an extraction point and extract it onto a helicopter, which will bring it back to your HQ. Once the helicopter brings the loot back to your HQ, it's yours to keep forever, unless you decide to sell it. Now, here's the catch. Once you get some loot in the dark zone, you are going to have a big, bright, yellow bag hanging right over your ass. And it hangs over your ass so people can see your ass and see that you have some nice looking loot. And if other players see that, they probably will turn on you. And if they kill you, including your teammates, like Aura can actually turn on me in the dark zone. If they turn on you and they kill you, you will lose your loot and spawn far away, giving them the chance to take it, extract it for themselves, and take whatever goodies you happen to find in the dark zone. So it really comes down to, should I trust this person kind of issue. So if you go in the dark zone, make sure you're with a friend or friends who you know wouldn't betray you. Like, don't add somebody like 5 minutes ago and then go to the dark zone with them, because chances are he's going to turn on you. If you happen to run into strangers in the dark zone, it's very iffy. You can maybe trust them for a little bit, but if you see they start having a little fishy behavior, just take them out before they even grab anything and before you even grab anything, because it's taking a huge risk. Other than that, in the dark zone, there are dark zone merchants, and the dark zone merchants do sell better items than your local merchant that's held in your HQ. However, there are two types of currency in this game. There is regular currency that you get from eliminating AIs, as I am now, and this currency you can use to buy basically whatever you want at your local merchant in the HQ. Now there's something I think is called dark points. Let's call it dark dollars. These dark dollars are only acquirable, whatever the word is. What am I talking about? You can only get these things through the dark zone. And with these dark dollars, you can use them to buy that better gear from the dark merchants. I haven't really played much in the dark zones yet, so I can't really tell you what you can find with these dark dollars and these dark merchants, but I do know that they're better than the stuff your local merchant sells. Over here, actually find a boss. You see that big guy over there? I think that's the guy I'm shooting. Yeah, I think that's the big fire guy. This guy's flamethrower is huge. It has just like this huge wave of fire that just eliminates everything on its path. You see, he's just like sponging these bullets, and my AK-47 is actually really powerful. He's sponging the entire thing, and I just gotta keep falling back. I think Aura's trying to keep him busy so I can get a good point and then try to stick him with a sticky bomb. But imagine fighting this guy by yourself. It's going to be hard, because you have this fire guy who I just, who's the boss. And you're gonna have like his little other fire minions running around the place trying to torch you. So that's why I said it's a good idea to actually get at least one friend to help you out. But it's a really good game. It's a change from Call of Duty. As you see right here, I killed the boss and he just dropped 3 little things. He dropped some gloves and maybe some guns. And little things to help you out. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're crappy. And also, the things that I picked up from the boss are completely different from the things that Aura picks up. Let's say, for example, I pick up an AK-47 and a cool hat, where I was probably going to pick up like a shotgun and a sniper rifle. It's always different, which gives the game a good variety, so which means, you know, some people are going to have some guns you don't have, and have some clothes that you don't find, and it really adds a good creativity and bright colors in this whole gloomy, dark environment, because everybody's going to look different. But the gameplay is almost over. I think we're just scavenging around here, see what we missed, just pick up some assault rifle ammo, or else looking around. We are communicating as we're playing. That's why you see sometimes we just stop, stay still, because we're actually like talking to her. What should we do? What do you want to do now? So we're about to go on this elevator. We're about to go on this elevator, head upstairs, clap in, good job, finish the mission. Once the door opens, we're going to complete the mission, head back to HQ, and usually when we head back to HQ, we just dig through what we have and see what we want to keep, what we want to sell. And that's about it for the Division. If you have any questions in the Division, let me know in the comment section below. And if you want to see more in the Division, just let me know in the comment section below. I will still be posting some Call of Duty gameplay, but just let me know what you think from this gameplay here. Maybe I'll post some more Division alongside Call of Duty. But that's the end of the video here. If you liked it, punch that like button with a mighty force. You can follow me on Twitter at Davontos Man, and as always, I'll see all of you in my next video. Have a nice day.